Are you constantly worried about some health issue or another? Maybe even ones that aren't really there? If so, you need to watch this video and watch all the way to the end, where I'll be telling you how you can finally and permanently overcome that. Hi, my name is Paul Hunter and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist here at Cork Hypnosis Clinic, where I regularly help people with all sorts of anxieties. Health anxiety, for the most part, isn't actually evidence-based. It's just something that your mind over dramatizes. So maybe you start with a headache, or maybe a strange feeling in your chest or in your stomach or in your knees maybe. And then your mind starts to over dramatize. You start to think, what if it's this? What if it's that? What if it's much more serious? When you start thinking this way, then you look for validation for that thought. So you look up Google, and of course you come across every worst case scenario you possibly could, which fuels that anxiety and then makes you constantly anxious about it every moment of every day potentially. Then maybe you decide you go to the doctor, and the doctor reassures you that no, it's nothing serious. And just for a moment, you're happy. You walk out of the doctor relaxed. But maybe on the way home, you start thinking, what if the doctor missed something? What if it is actually something worse? So now you're on constant alert. And this drains your energy and interrupts your sleep. Maybe now you find it hard to focus on anything else. Maybe it's on your mind constantly, and you're constantly checking your body for signs, looking for those strange pains and aches, constantly wondering, what if it really is serious? I've had clients come to see me here over the years who have had multiple tests, multiple scans, multiple colonoscopies, or scopes down their throat, into their stomach, scopes up their nose. Many tests, all of which have come back totally clear, but yet the anxiety persists. Those horrible what ifs are there all the time, even though those tests are clear. Anybody that has come to see me for this compulsive health anxiety would tell me it's exhausting, but they just can't seem to do anything about it. They just can't seem to make it stop. But there is some good news, and this is where hypnotherapy really shines, because hypnotherapy does a number of things. Firstly, it helps to calm your body, so you stop producing quite as much of that stress hormone. You stop pumping out adrenaline. Your body calms down and your mind calms. In the state of hypnosis, that busy analytical mind of yours, that just sidelines for a bit. Thirdly, once you're in the state of hypnosis, I can access that part of your unconscious mind that holds on to those faulty beliefs that are acting as a foundation for this health anxiety, and change them to something better, something that works much better for you. Fourthly, we can implant a new automatic response to a trigger. So in other words, when you hear something on the radio, let's say about cancer or something like that, now you can have a different response to it, instead of maybe automatically assuming, oh my God, what if I have that? But there is some good news. Using hypnotherapy, we can firstly get you into the state of hypnosis and calm your body, so that your body reduces the amount of stress hormones that it produces, reduces the amount of adrenaline that it's pumping out so that you feel calmer. Secondly, we can sideline that busy analytical conscious mind of yours and just give it a break for a while. And that also feels incredibly relaxing for your mind. Then in that very relaxed state, thirdly, I can access your unconscious mind, which is that part of your mind where these automatic negative what if thoughts come from. And we can change some of those deeply held beliefs that are there in your unconscious mind, which are of course incorrect beliefs, which act as foundation for all of this health anxiety. So we can take away some of those beliefs and maybe replace them with better, healthier beliefs. Fourthly, we can change that automatic pattern of response that happens so that now you respond differently to triggers, trigger thoughts, trigger words, trigger events, so that now your response is much more calm and measured and in control, so that you feel much, much better. And finally, using hypnosis, we can give you longer term suggestions into the future that this is your new habit and that you just stop practicing the old habit, which means it just starts to fade away, and very soon it'll seem like as if the last time you did that was years ago. To explain this type of anxiety to people simply, I always use the analogy of a fire alarm in your house. If your fire alarm was constantly going off 24/7, how long would it be until you'd feel like smashing that to bits? Because you see, we're not supposed to be on constant alert. A fire alarm is only supposed to go off when there's a real fire. If it's going off constantly, it's just going to annoy you. In the same way, this anxiety that you're doing is just too constant. Anxiety should be there maybe in those one or two situations that happen in your life where you really need the help of your adrenaline to either fight or run away faster. But anxiety is only meant to be there maybe a couple of genuine times during your life where your life is genuinely under risk. Not all the time. Using hypnotherapy, we can disconnect the urgency of some of those triggers so that now not every situation leads to panic. We obviously have to leave you with some anxiety, because if you had no anxiety at all, then you'd pay no attention to symptoms that you probably should. So we've got to leave you with the right amount of anxiety that only triggers off maybe a couple of times in your life. And that's what we can achieve using hypnotherapy. So if you're interested in some of what I've said during this video, and you think that hypnotherapy could help you to overcome your obsessive health anxiety thoughts, well, why not click on the link in the description just underneath this YouTube video, and that'll take you to the health anxiety page on my website, where you'll find more information, more resources, and of course, crucially, some ways in which to contact me in order to schedule an appointment if you wish.